Yes, here we are. My very first movie review, guys. Thank you so much for clicking play and watching this. I truly appreciate it. Welcome to Rudy's Movie Review, San Antonio's official movie critic. And today we're going to be talking about Creed. My opinion, the best film of 2015. Hands down.
Hi, welcome to Rudy's Movie Review, San Antonio's unofficial movie critic, guys. And this review is sponsored by Ken's 5 and the folks at Great Day SA. That sounds pretty cool. The good folks at Great Day SA sent me over to an advanced screening for Creed 2, and that's the film I am going to be talking about, everybody. And full disclosure, the very first review I've ever done, as you just saw, was for Creed 1. Along with a lot of personal life events and that movie, it was like a perfect storm of events to occur to inspire me to be in front of this camera and talk to you guys about movies. And that film, with Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, Stallone was robbed. He should have won Best Actor for that movie. Really surprised me, because when I first heard of the Creed remake slash reboot slash retelling, I was really worried about it. But they did a great job. And even more so, I was very worried about this one, because the Rocky legacy is precious to a lot of people, including myself. I have a lot of opinions of Rocky. Obviously, Rocky's back there. It's been one of my favorite movies and one of the best, if not the best, protagonists in film. So I was very, very cautious walking into this movie. But with Stallone and everybody involved, I knew they'd do a good job. And I have to say, this is a good film. This is really one of the best films of the year. Wow. And let me explain why. Now, the film picks up 3 to 4 years after the events of Creed 1. Adonis now has a 6-fight game win streak, and he's now the heavyweight champion of the world. He's got everything going for him, and he's defeated every opponent. But lo and behold, in the background, we have Ivan Drago and his son, Viktor Drago, training. And they're on a mission to challenge Adonis Creed for the heavyweight championship belt. And I have to admit this. Rocky 1 and 2 are really the good ones. 3, they get kind of silly. And 4, I've been told it's one of the silliest films out there. I don't agree with that at all. Rocky 4 is probably one of my favorites, if not maybe my favorite Rocky film of all time. So I love that story. I love the events that happened, and I love Ivan Drago. So I could not contain my enthusiasm seeing Ivan Drago and Rocky on the big screen again. Now, I have to admit, when they first encounter each other in the movie, if you're a Rocky fan, you're going to be smiling, because it's quite impactful and it's an emotional moment seeing these two people. And again, they haven't seen each other in over 33 years in the movie timeline, but it's very cool to see them on the screen again, especially their first encounter. You're really going to love it. Oh man, it was awesome. Now, Adonis is slowly persuaded and influenced, really, to be totally honest, to fight Viktor Drago for all the wrong reasons. And obviously, we all know what those reasons are, right? But the key message of the film is tied to knowing what you believe in and fighting for what you believe in. And what really helps us, the audience, connect with Adonis is all the family and personal events that go on in the film. And that's the formula of the Rocky series that we've all grown to love. We all know what's going on in Rocky's life. He's an underdog. No one really has faith in him. He's got his family circle. That's all he's got. But he's always the underdog fighting uphill. And that's what we love about Rocky, because he always comes out on top. And I really felt like I was watching a true Rocky movie, because Adonis, you really feel what he's going through. He's got a lot of things going on in his life. And that just what really makes the final fight of the film more impactful and more emotional. And speaking of emotion, you really feel sympathy and empathy for Viktor and Ivan Drago. You really feel what they're coming from, what they're fighting against, and how alone they are. And that is a wonderful script. When you can really sympathize and almost for a microsecond root for Ivan Drago to win, you know you've got a great, compelling story. And I was in that position toward the end. I'm like, oh man, they've been through so much. But it was a well-written script with well-wrote out characters. I loved it. And there's going to be a few cameos that pop up out of nowhere. So if you're a Rocky fan, be ready for that. Now, I've got to hand it to Stephen Caple Jr., the director with Creed 2. There's a lot of beautifully shot sequences in the film. Now, the boxing matches, I will say this, I prefer Ryan Coogler's vision in the ring in Creed 1. So I do prefer that. The Creed 1 had better boxing sequences, in my opinion. You do feel Viktor Drago's power in the fight scenes, but the way it was shot, I prefer Ryan Coogler's method in Creed 1, to be completely honest. I will say this about the film. Every Rocky movie has really just brought me to tears. I don't go bawling or anything like that, but I tear up. I can't help it. I love Rocky. I love the character. And this film has a few moments. And really, they came unexpectedly, to be totally honest, and from a place that I was not anticipating either. And you'll know what I mean. As a Rocky fan, there's going to be a moment toward the end when something happens and you're going to be, that's nice. That's really nice. And again, for all true Rocky fans and really movie fans, the last 10 minutes of the film are just really tearjerkers. I was tearing up at the last 10 minutes of the film. It's a beautifully told movie, but it does have a couple of flaws. And let me explain what those are. And this is my one flaw. After looking at all my notes, this is the one flaw that I had to speak about. And here's what it is. Now, I'm a big Rocky fan, as I'm sure you are. Is it just me, but do you want to go hit the gym right after you see a Rocky movie? Do you have at least 3 or 4 Rocky songs on your workout mix like I do? Yes, every Rocky film that I've ever seen, including Creed 1, as soon as that movie finished, I wanted to hit the gym that night or the next morning because I was so motivated. The score and the music was powerful and you were just ready to go to the gym and hit those weights. This is the first Rocky movie where I didn't feel like working out. And I'm curious about that. And I really think it has to do with the score. The score... There's Adonis's theme, you've heard that in Creed 1, and then there's Rocky's theme, the piano theme that is, I'll play right now. Those themes were missing. You do hear the hints of the notes in the movie very early on, and you really don't hear them until very late in the film. Extremely late in the film. So I think there's a lot of pivotal emotional scenes early on in the movie. If they had played those themes, I think I would have been emotionally more impacted with that. It really just ties to a whole story and a history of the characters that really just kind of centers you and brings you back. So the fact that those scenes were not playing in pivotal moments early on in the film kind of took away from the moment. They're still emotionally great. They're directed well, they're acted well, but not having that theme really took a little bit away from the moment. And that's really my one nitpick. In the end, guys, Creed 2 is really one of the best films of this year. And I sincerely hope they don't make another Creed. Adonis has reached his arc. I don't think there's anything else to tell with his story. It ended beautifully. And I hope this is the last one because it ends on a perfect note. And I highly recommend checking this out, guys, Thanksgiving weekend. Go see it. And I'm going to give this film a 95 out of 100. It's that good. Go see it. If you're a Rocky fan, you will enjoy it. And as always, guys, thank you for watching Rudy's Movie Reviews, San Antonio's unofficial movie critic. Please take care. God bless and live long and prosper. And I'm out.